Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do my review of Married at First Sight. Um, Season 14, Episode 5. The title is It's Not a Sure Thing. Well, no. I think the title should be Antiquated Love. Let's find out what that is. Alexa, what is antiquated love?
Here's something I found on the web. According to fandom.com, unrequited love is love that is not openly reciprocated or understood as such, even though reciprocation is usually deeply desired.
That means one-sided love, okay? All right. Oh, before I go any further, I would like to thank all my subscribers. Thank you so much. The old subscribers, the new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. It really touches my heart that people out there want to listen to me. Thank you so very much. Okay. I'm not gonna go, I don't think I'm gonna go word for word. I'm gonna leave out some things that I just didn't find that was interesting in this episode. I can't wait for them to leave the honeymoon. I want to see how they live together. That's what I want to see. All right, let's get started. First up is Mark and Lindsay. Okay, we see them lying in bed, and they're talking, and they're bantering back and forth in a good way. They seem to be getting along really well. Lindsay's talking to the camera, and a producer asks her if they consummated their marriage, and all she does is laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. Then she says, "A lady never kisses and tell." That means that they did. Okay? Later, Lindsay tells Mark that they're going to make pina coladas, and Mark tried to let her know in a nice way that they shouldn't drink too much. I guess he's trying to avoid another incident like what happened on the plane. So the incident that happened on the plane, I didn't know she was drunk. She was drunk on that plane. I was trying to, be on her side, thinking that maybe Elijah Wan and Katina were blowing things out of proportion, but that heifer was drunk. Lindsay's trying to make excuses that she was tired, or I don't know what the hell she was trying to say, but Mark let her know that she had 3 bottles of wine. 3 bottles of wine. Yeah, she was drunk. And they didn't say that last episode. That's why I was riding for her. I was, trying to be on her side. Because she was crying and everything, and she looked really upset and hurt. So I was trying to be on her side. But, girl, you were drunk. I think Lindsay should sincerely apologize to the entire group, because she was drunk on the plane, and she just, she messed everybody's mojo up, So I think she just apologized to everybody. That's what I think she should need to do. So the next scene, we see Lindsay and Mark. They're making pina coladas, and Lindsay gets a brain freeze. I've never gotten one of those. They seem to be having a good time. Later on, they go on over to a table, sit down, and they were talking. And they talked about people that they dated in the past. And basically, Mark put himself on a pedestal. Was a pedestal? He claimed he dated women that were in horrible relationships before him, and he was like your savior. I call bullcrap on that one. I call bullcrap. And I'm starting not to like Mark. And Lindsay's looking at him like he's the best thing since sliced bread. Antiquated love. Next up is Jasmina and Michael. Jasmina and Michael, they bored me and they annoyed me during this scene. I don't think Michael and Jasmina has anything to talk about, so they keep talking about the same things over and over and over again. Michael, he brings Jasmina breakfast in bed. He brings her a coffee, and he doesn't even know how she takes her coffee, but he brings her coffee. And that's the second time he did that. I think last episode he did the same thing. Brings her coffee and doesn't know how. Just ask her, do you want coffee? How do you take it? Boom. Don't just keep bringing her horrible coffee. But that's what he does. He brings her horrible coffee. And then she finally tells him how she likes her coffee. And then they're talking. And Mike said that since the wedding, he felt like there's a distance between them. Where is he getting that from? What distance? What is he talking about? I think they're just making up stuff because they have absolutely nothing to talk about. And Jasmina says she doesn't feel that way. And he says he feels they're disconnected because he doesn't talk enough. Then if you don't feel like you don't talk enough, then start talking more. What the hell are they talking about? This has nothing to do with anything. It doesn't make any sense. They're just I tell you. Their conversation is ridiculous. It makes no sense. They have nothing to talk about. And instead of addressing the fact that Mike thinks he's not talkative enough, she goes back to harping on him, on what his sister says about him overthinking things. What does that have to do with him saying he's not talkative enough? So she goes back to that crap. She's harping on that still. Anyway, the next scene, they're at the poolside and they're having drinks. And Jasmina brings up again him thinking negative, thinking the worst. Instead of thinking positive, he's thinking negative. She brings that up again at the poolside. And they're just having drinks and they have nothing to talk about, these two. Nothing to talk about. So she brings that up. And I'm so over them. So he claims the reason he's negative all the time is because he's seen so many deaths with people that's close to him. And he's just always expecting the worst. And that's basically that with them. Next is Alyssa and Chris. I don't know if anyone else notices, but Alyssa has a suite. She does not have a regular room. I think other couples have a room that has a living room area and then a bedroom. But she looked like she has a suite that has a little bit of steps to go up a little bit, maybe 3 or 4 steps to a different area. Her balcony is totally different from Chris's balcony. Let me show you a picture of Chris's balcony. I have a picture on my laptop. Chris's balcony and Alyssa's balcony. I think Alyssa may have paid for her own room. Because I don't have to show would have paid for that. I don't know. Let me see. This is Chris's balcony. Look at that balcony. 1 step and he's at the balcony. And no, look at, you see his bush in front of him. Or trees. No, what do you call it? No beach, ocean view. Look at that. He's looking at bushes, trees. Look at his, look at how tiny his balcony is. Let me show you Alyssa's balcony. How about this? Look at Alyssa's balcony. Look at that mess. Look at the view. Hope you can see my ring light is in the way, but look at that. Look at the view. Look how huge it is. Look at that. How gorgeous. Isn't that something? Poor Chris. He gets the raw end of the deal. No matter what he does, he gets the raw end of the deal. I think she has a suite. I don't know if she paid for it herself or if the show paid for it. I mean, she bought 10 wedding gowns. So maybe she paid for it herself. Maybe she upgraded herself. Because, you know, she didn't want no rinky-dink hotel room. Okay. So Alyssa is talking to the camera. And she wonders why this happened to her. And how this happened to her. And why her? She's so self-centered. She's spoiled rotten to the core. Yeah, she is. So we see Chris, and he's talking to the camera. And he says that he is not happy, but he still thinks there's a chance with Alyssa. He's poor delusional Chris. He says he's not giving up hope. That poor baby. So he wants to do activities with her. Instead of talking to her, he says every time he talks to her, I guess he thinks he puts his foot in his mouth. Every time he talks to her, she gets upset. So he wants to do activities with her now. So they go paddle boarding. And Alyssa has done it before, and Chris has never done it. So he's falling off, and she's laughing at him. You know, she doesn't even try to help him, tell him what to do. She's just laughing at him. She's an evil little witch. Yeah. Oh, let me show you a picture of her. Miss Perfect. Show you a picture of Miss Perfect who wants a hot guy. If I can find it. Let me see if I can find this picture of her. This chick wants a hot guy. Here she is. Look at her bloated tummy, her flat butt. Look at her. This is the one that wants a hot guy. Like she's hot. She's not hot. You want a hot guy for and you're not hot. Look at you. Come on, girl. She's not hot girl, hot guy material. No guy. I mean, hot guys want that. No, hot guys want a supermodel. Yeah. So poor Chris keeps falling off, but he keeps trying. He keeps trying, and he's doing his best to have a good time. And all she does is laugh at him. Chris said Alyssa is a fun, loving, enjoyable person to be around. Poor thing. Antiquated love. So they are sitting down, talking, and Alyssa tells Chris that the expert didn't do this right. That's what she said. They didn't do this right. Alyssa said she went and saw a psychic who told her she was going to meet her soulmate. Chris asked Alyssa what did the psychic said her soulmate looked like. Poor thing, he's trying to say, did the psychic said the soulmate look like me? But Alyssa said that the psychic told her her soulmate would have very pretty eyes and a needle tattoo. That's good news to me. All Chris has to do is go get some pretty blue or green contact lenses and get a needle tattoo. That's all he has to do. Boom, that's her soulmate. Because the psychic didn't say anything about her soulmate being hot and having nice teeth. The psychic didn't say anything about that. So all you have to do is go get some contacts and go get a needle tattoo. Boom, and you're in. Next up is Noy and Steve. They're in bed and they're kissing. Steve says he can lip kiss without brushing his teeth. But no tongue. No tongue until after they brush their teeth. That's what he's saying. Noy says to the camera that they didn't have sex yet, but she wouldn't be surprised if it happened sooner than later. Which means she's ready to consummate that marriage. She's ready. They're having breakfast, and Steve says he has to find a campground on an ocean so that he can wake up to the ocean. And Noy says she doesn't like to camp. And she says she liked having a shower and a bathroom. And Steve tells her that some campgrounds have showers and bathrooms. And Steve tells the camera that he do go on these adventures, and it's a big part of who he is, and he wants to share it with his wife. So then you shouldn't have come on this show, Steve. You should have found a female who likes to be a vagabond and likes to travel and sleep outdoors and do things like that. That's what you should have done. Find a woman who does things like that, who enjoys doing things like that, and marry her or be with her. You come on this show, Married at First Sight, not knowing who you were going to get, not knowing if the person you were going to get would love these things. So you shouldn't have come on the show. That's what I think. Noy tells him that she does not like sleeping outside. Steve says he thinks they should camp on the ocean at least one day. Noy says as long as it's inside. And my sister and I, we went to years ago, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, we went to a bunch of us. We went to camping on the beach. We did a camping on the beach type thing. We brought our tents, cots, and it was fun. It's a whole bunch of us, and we had we weren't even there a day. We drove out there that morning. We stayed on the beach the whole day. We had a crab fest. We did yoga on the beach. And then that evening, we all got dressed up in white, and we had a white party. And we went to bed. The next day, we got up and came home. It was fun, but just for that little while. And I was in the military for 8 years, and we did a lot of sleeping outdoors, and I hated it. That's the only thing I hated about the military, was when we went to the field. We went out and slept outside, and I didn't like that. That's the only thing I didn't like about the military. Hated that. But anyway, I'm with Noy. I don't want to be outside. I don't want to be outside for what? I think I want to try glamping though, but being outside in a tent, in the cold, or in the heat with a sleeping, no. Maybe one night, but that's it. Anyway, next scene, Noy and Steve are having a picnic. Noy says that she feels like she and Steve are emotionally bonded. I don't know what that means. Emotionally bonded? I don't know what that means. She says she feels attracted to him, and all Steve is talking about is pooping for the first time in front of her, I guess. He said, I have a wife now. When do I poop? When can I go pooping? Just go poop, man. Just go poop. Who cares? It's a body function. Everybody does it. Just do it. Noyce says to the producer that she feels like she's falling in love. So after she talks to the producer, she goes over to Steve and she tells him, she said, I just told the producer that I think I'm slowly falling in love with you. And Steve says, okay. Antiquated love. Steve says, that's nice to hear. And Steve told her that he has strong feelings for her, but he's not quite there yet. And he says it's only been 3 days. They've only been married 3 days, so give it time. Next is Katina and Elijah Wan. Elijah Wan enjoys waking up to Katina. That's what he says. He says she smiles when she opens up her eyes and sees him. Maybe she's smiling because she's happy that wig didn't fall off. Did she ever take that wig off? Is she ever going to take that wig off? I would like to see what's under that wig. And they showed her one time with braids. Why didn't she just get braids? You need to burn that wig and get some braids. That wig is too long. It's just too long. Anyway, they're in bed and they try to figure out how they can cuddle. She says he sweats too much. She doesn't really know how to cuddle. And when he cuddles, he's sweaty. And she thinks he should go see a doctor so he can go get some injections in his armpit to curb his sweating. So next scene is Katina and Elijah when they go to the gym. And I hate her gym outfit. It's tight up on her. And it's just too, ugh. If she were to sweat in the wrong places, that gym outfit would not be cute. Anyway, they're working out and Elijah is showing her what to do. And he's rude and condescending to her. He's really rude. Let me show you a picture of her. She looks stressed out. He's stressing her out. Let me show you. Got my picture on my laptop. Let me see. Look how stressed out she looks. Look at the bags under her eyes. Look at the bags under her eyes. Look how stressed out she is. She's, what, 30 years old? She shouldn't have bags under her eyes like that. Look at that. That man is stressing her out. She said, she was talking to the cameras, and she said, if she was in her 20s and she dated someone like that, she said he has a strong personality, and she said if she was in her 20s and she dated someone like that, she would cry. Cry? What are you crying for? If you're dating someone, no matter how old you are, and they're being rude and disrespectful to you, leave. What are you crying for? Don't cry. Leave. Just leave. No need to cry. Just go. Say bye. I'm out. Okay, so next scene is all of the couples. They go on an excursion. And Elijah Wan told the camera that he has a DM on Instagram from Lindsay apologizing for her behavior. That's good, right? So they're all on a boat and they're on the ocean and they're going somewhere to some island, I guess, some other little rest area. I don't know. And Elijah Wan asked everyone who consummated their marriage. And Lindsay just starts to laugh and laugh and laugh. So they know that Lindsay and Mark consummated their marriage. So Lindsay asked Elijah Wan if they consummated their marriage, and he said no. Then they asked Jasmine and Michael. They said no. Steve said he and Noy agreed to keep whatever happens between themselves, and that's good. That's what you should do. Because it's nobody's business what you do in the bedroom with anybody. Okay, so Lindsay asks Chris and Alisa, and Chris said he think by now that everybody knows that they haven't had sex. And everybody gave it a little uncomfortable laugh. So when they get to their destination, the ladies stay on the boat and the guys, they go off on land. And the ladies are talking about the guys, and the guys are talking about the ladies. And Noy tells the ladies that she told Steve that she is slowly falling in love with him, and he didn't say it back. Antiquated love. Meanwhile, Steve says to the guys, I got hit with a hard one today. She said she feels she's fallen in love with me. That's what he tells her. And I don't think he should have done that. He's making his wife look bad. He's making her look foolish. Why tell them that? He said it scared him because the wedding was just 3 days ago. I hate that he told them that. He shouldn't have told them that. He's making her look really, really foolish. So the guys, they chit-chat, and their chit-chat bored me, so I'm not even going to talk about what they was talking about. I'm skipping over to I'm skipping back over to the ladies. Lindsay asked Alyssa what was her first night like. And Alyssa basically said she was not going
First
to talk.
Night is a 2010 comedy film starring Richard E. Grant, Sarah
Alexa,
Brightman.
Stop. I said Alyssa, and she thought I said her name. Alyssa basically said she was not going to talk about it and to move on to something else. And she kind of was polite when she said it. She wasn't mean when she said it. And it kind of shocked me. Lindsay tells the ladies that she loves Mark and he is the one for her. Antiquated love. Meanwhile, Mark is he's talking shit about Lindsay to the guys. He's talking about how he had to reel her in. And that's what her father had said to him, that sometimes he's going to have to reel her in. So he's using those words to put her down in front of these guys. He's such an ass. He's an ass. Back over to the ladies. Lindsay starts talking about being triggered. Instead of apologizing, she should have apologized to the ladies. And said, guys, I'm so sorry. I had too much to drink. And, I'm going to try not to let that happen again. She should have apologized. But instead, she's talking about how she was triggered. And when she did that, Katina got upset. But she started off good. She said to Lindsay, you triggered that moment yourself. She's saying you triggered that yourself by getting drunk and poking at Elijah 1 and asking him questions after questions and, annoying him. But Lindsay's saying, there's three truths. There's my truth, your truth, and that really pissed Katina off. She gets up and she walks off, and Alyssa follows her. And the reason Alyssa is following her is because Alyssa can't stand Lindsay, and she wants to fan the flames of Katina's anger towards Lindsay because she wants Katina to hate Lindsay like she hates Lindsay. I don't know what you following her for. Leave her alone. Y'all ain't friends. You ain't friends with nobody. So later, after Katina calms down, after Alyssa follows her and fan the flames and get Katina more riled up, Katina goes back over to Lindsay, and now she's on 10, and she practically goes off on Lindsay. She's saying that you you kept poking him, you were drunk, you this, you that, and I don't care what you went through when you were 2, 5, 25, you're a grown woman, you should know better, blah, 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 blah. And I don't think she meant she don't care about what Lindsay went through. I'm just saying, in this instant, what you went through doesn't have anything to do with what happened. You got drunk and you got out of line with people that you don't even know. That's what she's basically saying. Because I don't think Katina is such a mean, horrible person to say, I don't give a damn what you went through throughout your life. That's not what she meant. She's just saying what you went through doesn't have anything to do with what happened now. The things that you did triggered, you triggered your own memories or your own insecurities or, by getting drunk and poking at him. That's what she's trying to say. Anyway, I don't explain myself well, but that's what she's trying to say. I understood what she was trying to say. So, Tina said what she had to say and walked off. She didn't want to hear anything Lindsay had to say. She just had to say her piece. And when she walks off, again, Alyssa follows her. Alyssa is... But then after they left, Jasmina tried to explain to Lindsay what Katina was trying to say. She said, she tried to explain to her that she caused the events that triggered her. She was the cause of that. I still don't think Lindsay got it, but maybe one day she'll watch this show and she'll understand what everybody was trying to say to her. And Jasmina explained it to her in a nice, calm way, respectable way. And I was proud of Jasmina for doing that. And I like Lindsay. But when she gets drunk, she needs to leave people alone. Don't mess with people when you get drunk. Just go to sleep. Take a nap. Sleep it off. But don't mess with people when you're drunk. Don't do that. Okay, it's time to leave. So the guys get back on the boat. And Lindsay tells Mike what happened with Katina. And he's over. He just wants her not to talk about it anymore and just to get over it. He wants everybody to be happy and kumbaya. So they decide to play Never Have I Ever. And Michael says, never have I ever been arrested. And Jasmina has. She explained that it was in high school, it was a big fight, and everybody that was involved in the fight got arrested. Katina said, never have I ever cheated on someone. Steve and Alisa won. They've cheated on someone. Then Chris said, never have I ever had a threesome. Elijah one has had a threesome. Then Elijah one asked if anyone has ever slept with two people in the same family. Apparently he slept with a mother and a daughter. And everybody was shocked. He claimed they knew about it. Then Elijah one asked the group if their spouses asked them to have a threesome, if they would do it. And everyone said no. And he said he would do it. But Katina said, no, that's not happening. She wouldn't ask him to do that. I wonder what would happen if she asked him to do a threesome with another guy. How would he feel? Would he say yes? He's such, ugh. Anywho. Their excursion is over with. Now we go back to Noy and Steve. Noy and Steve, they're having dinner. And Steve said that their intimacy level has moved pretty fast. That's telling me that they consummated their marriage. If your intimacy level has moved pretty fast, doesn't that mean that they consummated their marriage? Or maybe they're just touching each other and making out. I don't know. But they're doing something other than just kissing. If the intimacy level has moved pretty fast, they're doing something other than kissing. Okay? Anywho, not my business. Don't care. But just want to put it out there just in case anybody else was interested in what I thought. All right. They talked about Noy saying that she is slowly falling in love with him. And Steve explains to her that you don't really know me, And he's right. She's known him for 3 days and she's already saying she's slowly falling in love with him. You don't know this man. So they start talking about the cheating. And Noy tells him that she cheated too. But then she gave him a look when they were playing the game. And he claimed that he acknowledged that he cheated. She gave him a look like, huh? But she said she cheated too. And they talked to each other about their cheating. Apparently they cheated when they were younger. And they realized that that wasn't the right thing to do. And they claimed they wouldn't do it again. Next scene is Noy and Steve are in the pool and they're kissing. And Steve said Noy looks hot and he's really attracted to her. In her confessional, she's talking about how happy she is. And then she's crying. She is a very emotional person. She's crying happy tears. But she's a very emotional person. Every episode so far, she has cried emotional. She just got emotional and start crying. And that's what she does here. She's just too emotional for me. That's the end of them. Now, Jasmina and Michael. Okay. Jasmina is talking to the camera. And she's telling this story that happened. I am not sure if this happened. I think that the producers need them to have camera time and is maybe fabricating a story for them to seem interesting because they don't really have anything to talk about. So I'm not sure if this story that she's telling is real or made up by the producers. But this is what she says. Jasmina is talking to the camera. She said that she and Michael were having breakfast on the balcony, and he said, yesterday when I was talking about whether or not we consummated our marriage, Michael said that she cut him off when he was explaining about not consummating, why they hadn't consummated their marriage. They showed a clip, and it didn't look like she cut him off to me. Not at all. So she said he was adamant that she cut him off, and he wanted her to apologize. Jasmina said that she is not going to apologize if she felt in her heart that she did not do that. She did not cut him off. She said Michael was being very aggressive with his words. She said his tone was disrespectful, rude, and loud. Now, I can't picture Michael being that way. So if this happened and he was disrespectful and his tone was rude and loud, that means he's hiding his personality. That means that when the cameras turn off, he becomes a different Michael. If this story is true, that means when the cameras are off, he's a totally different Michael. Because we have not seen him so far being rude, being loud, being disrespectful. We have not seen him that way at all. So if this story is true, when the cameras go off, he's a totally different person. I don't know if this story is true because Michael and Jasmina, they don't have anything to talk about. Okay, she said she was very annoyed, hurt, and upset, and just effing everything. And I would be too. If the story is true, I'll be upset too. She said she don't tolerate disrespect at all. She said he doesn't know how to have a civil conversation. That doesn't sound, I'm spitting. That doesn't sound like Michael. He's always calm, cool, talking on a level voice, never getting upset, never getting angry, nothing. And then they show him in the gym working out. He doesn't look angry. He's just working out. He looked a little worried. He's twisting his ring, but maybe the cameras told him to do that to look like he's stressed out a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if this story is true, but if this story is true, it just means that Michael is a different person once these cameras are off. And that's scary. Anyway, yeah, she said he doesn't know how to have a civil conversation. She said she is not feeling him and she doesn't want to be in this marriage. She said she doesn't want to even be in the same room with him. And if this story is true and he's being rude and disrespectful and loud, I wouldn't either, because she doesn't know this man. She doesn't know what's going to happen, you know. So if this story is true, I'm feeling her. I wouldn't want to be in a room or in a marriage with him either. So I don't know if the story is true. I think the producers want them to have some kind of tiff because they have nothing, absolutely nothing to talk about. And if this story is true, okay, say the story is true, he's gonna wait the next day if he feels like she cut him off. They were on the boat talking about consummating their marriage, and if he feels like she cut him off, why didn't he say, oh, baby, let me just say this, and then say whatever he needed to say? Or why didn't he, after they got off the boat and they were alone, address it then? He waited until the next day to bring it up. He slept on it the whole evening, the whole night, and then bring it up the next morning? If he was that upset, and if he was that upset about it, why did he wait until a whole day, the whole night for the next morning to talk about it? Why? And who gets upset because somebody cut them off? Somebody cut them off, so what? That happens all the time. I cut people off all the time because when they're talking, and I have something that I need to say, I just say it. They just talking, I need to talk too. And if I don't hurry up and talk, I'm going to forget what I need to say. I cut people off all the time. I cut my sister off all the time. My sister's like, I'm not done talking. I cut her off all the time. She be talking and talking and talking. When it's my turn to talk, I want to talk too. But wait, somebody cut you off, so what? You're going to get upset over that? So I don't know if this story is true. I really don't know. And then he waited a whole evening, a whole night, and a whole morning to talk about it, to get upset about it. I don't know if this story is true. I really don't know. I don't think it is. So the next scene is they're having dinner. They're sitting down having dinner, and Michael says, asks Jasmina if she has any expectations of him, and she told him that she needs to that he needs to talk to her respectfully. So they discuss this event that happened about her cutting him off, and he wants an apology, and she says, "I'm sorry if you felt that I cut you off," and he's saying that's not an apology, and she's saying that is an apology because I don't feel like I did anything, so I'm apologizing if you felt that I cut you off, and they're going back and forth, batting the ball back and forth like they're playing tennis. And I think her apology was fine. If she didn't think she did something wrong, then why should she apologize? She's saying, I'm sorry if you felt that I cut you off, but I didn't cut you off. Fine enough. But then he apologized for being rude and disrespectful to her, for raising his voice and everything. And I don't know. I just don't think the story was true. But I'm glad she put her foot down and didn't apologize because she didn't do anything wrong. Hell, somebody cut you off. That happens all the time. What are you talking about? I even cut my boss off when we talk. We talking about something. I gotta say something real quick. She just talking. And I have to say something, so I just be talking. I just talk right over her. I cut people off all the time. That's just something I do. But hey, big deal. Get it over it, Michael. If it really happened, get over it. But if it really happened, I wish they had caught it on camera. Him telling her, waking up the next morning over breakfast, telling her to apologize. I wish to God they had caught that on camera, because I wanted to see what level of anger and the level of voice that was being raised. I wanted to see that. But deep down, I don't think that happened. I really don't. All right, on to the next. Now we're at Katina and Elijah One. They go out to eat, and Katina told Elijah One about what happened with Lindsay on the boat. And Elijah One is over the moon. He's happy that she defended him when he wasn't even there. So she wasn't defending him to impress him. She was defending him because she just felt that she needed to defend her husband. So he's happy about that, but he wants to move on. They talked about this threesome thing, and Katina told Elijah One that she doesn't like to share. And Elijah One, he says he doesn't want another woman. So if that's the truth, then why did you bring up this threesome thing? Why? He told her he deleted his Instagram for her. Why did he have to delete his Instagram? What's that about? Why can't you keep your Instagram? What's on your Instagram for you to have to delete it? He says he is happy that they have not had sex because he wants to get to know her better. Okay, the next scene is they go back to their room, and I guess Elijah One had the maid service decorate the room with rose petals because their bed is decorated with rose petals with Katina's new initials spelled out with a heart and everything. And Elijah One says that Katina is his other half, and God brought her to him. He said some other stuff, and he got emotional, and he tears up. And he picks her up, and he puts her on the bed. He removes her shoes. He rubs her feet. Katina says to the camera that to her, Elijah One is sweet, but others thinks he's sour. She said he's nice and kind, and he treats her very nice. And then she says she feels like she is falling in love. Antiquated love. She said, but don't tell him. Then she gets emotional, and she gets teary-eyed also. Then she realized what she said. And then she takes it back. She said, I'm not in love yet. You already told us she was falling in love with him. And I'm sure they're going to consummate that marriage that night. Okay, next is Alisa and Chris. Alisa she's sitting at a table and she's waiting for Chris. And Chris shows up and he tells them that they're going snuba diving, not scuba diving, but snuba diving. And Alyssa says she ain't doing it. And Chris, he puts on his gear. They go down to the beach. He puts on his gear, and she's standing there with him. She's watching. And Alyssa says to the camera that this is the first time she's seen him without a shirt, with his shirt off, and he is not her type physically. He wasn't her type physically when he was fully clothed. So what the hell is she what the hell is she talking about? He's not her type fully clothed or without his shirt. So let's just shut up. Okay. So Chris goes scuba diving without Alyssa. And I'm glad he's doing stuff without her, because just because she doesn't want to do it, he's not saying, okay, since you don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. But he's doing it. He's doing whatever he wants to do, and I'm glad. So she stands there and watches for a little while, then she goes back to the hotel, I guess. Or the next scene we see her, she's sitting at a table eating lettuce. And she really is boring. She really is a boring person. She's talking to the camera, saying that she doesn't want to scuba dive. I guess they asked her why she didn't go scuba diving with him, or snuba diving with him. She said she don't want to scuba dive. And the producer asked her what kind of things would she want to do. And she said she wants to leave here. She's a witch. She is a witch. And Alyssa told the producer that she is mad at her mother. Alyssa called her mother, and she called her mother to try to bitch about Chris. And her mother wasn't having it. You know, her mother was not sympathizing with her, and that pissed her off. So she starts to cry. Her mother told her she doesn't want to look bad for the camera. And she knows she looks bad for the camera. She just starts to bawl. So next thing we see Chris, he's walking towards her. And Alyssa told the producer, tell him not to come over here. So they go tell him not to come over there by her. That's the end of them. Last but not least, Mark and Lindsay. They are having a romantic dinner outside, and Mark brings up the disagreement that she had with Elijah 1 on the plane, and he also brings up the disagreement she had with Katina on the boat. And he basically says it's too much for him. He says he wants to slow down. So now after having sex with her that very morning, now he's talking about he wants to slow down. Mark is a total ass. He's an ass. I don't like him. He says he does not want to get lovey-dovey. They just had sex that morning. He says he doesn't want to get lovey-dovey. Then he had the nerve to ask her if she's, he tells her that she seems annoyed. Of course she's annoyed. You're just telling her that you want to slow down. You don't want to be lovey-dovey with her. Of course she's annoyed. How do you think she's supposed to feel? He's a total jerk. So Lindsay told him that if she's pulling back, she's going to pull all the way back. She's not just going to pull back a little. She's going to pull all the way back. And I don't blame her. I would too. I would ignore his butt. I wouldn't talk to him unless he talked to me first. I would just do my thing and ignore him. Since you want to pull back, let's pull back. You want to pull back? Let's pull back. That's just like what I told Chris to do to Alyssa. Ignore her. Totally ignore her. So Lindsay, she goes in on him. She tells him, she goes, stop clogging up the toilet. I guess he's shitting and clogging up the toilet. She goes, stop farting in bed. She said, you're giving me full frontal. What does that mean? I guess he's just standing there naked in front of her. I don't know. She says, stop chewing with your mouth open. She just goes in on him. And she told him that this was supposed to be a romantic dinner. This is zero romance. And she said she's ready to go. She's done. She's ready to go to bed. So she gets up and she walks off. And he's following her. They get to the room. And he's following around. She's telling him she doesn't want to talk to him. And he's following her around the room talking to her. And then she finally says to him, look. She introduces herself to him all over again. Hey, I'm Lindsay. Whenever you want to go out, just give me a call and we'll go out. She's being sarcastic. But what else is she supposed to do? This is her husband. They consummated the marriage. Everything was going great. Now he wants to pull back. So they argue back and forth for a little while, and when he had nothing else to say, he walks out the room. He's a jerk. And that's it. That was was it last night? This is what? Thursday? It happened Wednesday? Yeah, that was last night's episode. This is the end of my review / recap. I will be back next week with another review. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Also, please like, comment, and share my videos. Thank you so very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.